We're 9th, Featherstone 10th.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Boulevard. Wigan making their way onto the field. And a vital game this is for the champions and current cup holders. They are 4 points behind Bradford Northern at the top of the league, 3 games in hand. And Peter Fox and his men at Odsall will be praying for a whole victory here tonight. And Wigan been out of action at the weekend, had the game postponed because of the international in France, where of course they were very well represented as usual. And they'll certainly be looking for the league points today to get a double overhaul in the league, and also to add to that dramatic 22-21 cup victory back in February. John Sharp leads the whole side out. Theirs is a revenge mission tonight, leading 21-2 in that cup tie just before half-time, and in the end losing it. Terribly cruel match for Hull, and I know the players are very buoyed up to try and show that that fine performance for 50 minutes wasn't a fluke and that they can go on and win tonight. But it's going to be a very tough match for them. Let's have a look at the two sides as they line up. The Hull side first of all, Richard Gaze at full-back, Rob Nolan and Paul Sterling on the wings, with Gary Nolan and James Grant in the centres, Des Hasler and Mark Hewitt the half-backs, Russ Walker, Mike Dixon, Tim Street the front row, Chico Jackson, Jeff Doyle and John Sharp the back three. Danny Deve and Steve McNamara are the substitutes, and although Dean Busby came through a full 18 game last Friday, he hasn't made the first 15. And Wigan, Paul Aitchison is at full-back, been in very good form recently, had an excellent game against Castleford in the Challenge Cup semi-final. Jason Robinson and Martin Afire on the wings, neither needs any introduction. Barry John Mather, most recent Wigan test cap, made his debut as substitute against France on Sunday, with Gary Connolly in the centre. Frano Bottiger and Sean Edwards the halfbacks. Kelvin Skerritt, Martin Dermott and Neil Cowie the front row. Andy Platt is out injured. Mick Cassidy and Andy Farrell in the second row, with Sam Panaper, the ever versatile Sam Panaper, at loose forward. Joe Lydon and Dean Bell are the substitutes. The referee tonight, the same as for the Challenge Cup tie, Mr. David Campbell from St Helens. And blustery evening, the wind and rain sweeping across the ground. Not as big a crowd as we might have hoped for. The weather has certainly kept a few away, but very important match. Hull with a lingering hope perhaps of getting into the top 8. That looks a little bit of an outside bet now, but Wigan needing the points for the championship. With me tonight I have not Brian Holwell as usual, but a seasoned rugby league traveller, Sid Ludlow, and he'll be joining me in commentary in this match as Hull kick off. Farrell traps the ball with his legs, then picks up. Met by Doyle. Play the ball about 9 metres from his own line. Here's Robinson. Characteristic scamp away from acting halfback. Cassidy, another player who was involved in the Great Britain squad. Dermott, throwing the dummy, making good yards, almost up to the 30-metre line. Now Panaper, crossfield, good tackle. Jeff Doyle. And the kick by Bottiger. It's a good one. Just goes into touch, just as well for Hull he did, because Robinson was steaming up there. Conditions are pretty difficult out there, Sid, and what do you think the tactics will be of both sides?
Yes, good evening, Steve. I say good evening, but it isn't. The wind is blowing across the ground as opposed to the cup match when it was straight down the ground. The main stand's keeping some of it off the players, but the rain's going to make handling very, very difficult. I think we're going to see a good open game. I think Hull have got something to prove. They were very disappointed to lose that cup game. And Wigan, we know, need the points for the championship push. They're only just in front of Bradford, Steve.
Richard Gay. Hewitt rather out to Hasler. Oh, ball goes loose. And backwards to the referee. Mark Hewitt up to the 40-metre line. Hull, of course, have had 2 pretty disappointing games behind them at Oldham and Widnes, but they win the first penalty of the match. David Campbell finding Wigan offside just inside the Hull half. And Mark Hewitt will find touch on this side. As Sid said, the wind is blowing across the field. If anything, the rain is blowing into Wigan faces, but Hull on the attack. Walker. Met by Cowie and Dermot. He'll play it about 23 metres away from the Wigan line. Street takes a flat pass. The referee gives a forward pass, I think. Very late in giving that. Whether that was on the touch judge's intervention, quite sure. Certainly didn't blow up straight away for that. I think it probably was forward. Edwards. Mather. Well met by the whole defence. Edwards again. One of the reasons Wigan got into terrible trouble in that cup tie was because Edwards was on the bench. As soon as he came onto the field, there was a marked change in their organisation. Vital player in this Wigan side. Dermot. Robinson, well met. Edwards kicks into the wind. Well, certainly got hold of that. And it's a ball back. Well, perhaps it's the wind changing round a little bit. It seems to be behind Hull to some extent. Certainly that kick by Edwards onto the far side, Sid, just flew back in the air, didn't it?
Yes, the wind took that completely. It has changed. Nice little scrum base move here.
Hull winger Sterling out of position. Chico Jackson. Been in pretty good form, Chico Jackson, but unlucky to be taken off and spelled in games, I think. Walker, good run by Russ Walker, terrific drive. Great run by the prop, good quick play of the ball, Hasler. Good Wigan defence. On Gay, Hasler, Tim Street. Big drive by Street, within 5 metres, the last tackle. Dixon acting half. Doyle. Chico Jackson puts a kick in, picked up by Edwards on the 10-metre line. But a good attack by Hull. Big drives by the forwards. A fire. Tackled by Dixon on the 20 metres. Skerrett, perhaps fortunate to be playing in this match. He's got a very good solicitor who got him off the disciplinary tribunal's examination of his part in a brawl against Featherstone. Dermot already causing problems, Martin Dermot. The ball out to Robinson. And he's well tackled. James Grant, Paul Sterling in there. Good work by Doyle, putting pressure on Edwards. This time the kick on the floor, picked up by Richard Gay. Richard Gay eludes the tacklers. Good run by Gay. Tackled on the 40-metre line. Penalty against Wigan for holding down. Cassidy just keeping the arms on Gay a bit too long. And David Campbell gives Hull the penalty. Mark Hewitt going to go for goal, said.
Yes, the first time I've seen Hewitt kick goals. He seems to have the wind. It seems to have turned round. It seems to be behind him now. We'll just see how he does. I thought it was interesting. You notice Edwards is a good footballer. His first kick against the wind, straight into touch. Then he puts the short grubber kick in, keeping it low against this wind. It has turned. It is more down the ground like it was at the cup tie.
So, Mark Hewitt. Certainly an old head on young shoulders. Very composed player. Chance to put Hull ahead. Paul Eastwood still out of the side, injured. The Hull forward certainly playing with a lot of enthusiasm in these early stages, making good inroads into the Wigan defence. Can Hewitt put Hull on the board? Pretty good strike, but I think it's to the right of the post. It is. Picked up by Botica. Good tackling, James Grant. Oh, penalty against Grant and Doyle. We're going high. Nothing too vicious in that. But any tackle above the shoulder is penalised. Farrell finds touch, the far side. Wigan played on the 30-metre line. Here comes Cowie. Dermot. Ball goes loose, but went backwards. Skerritt manages to pick up. Whole crowd calling for a knock on, but that ball certainly went back. Panepa. Very valuable player in this Wigan side, Sam Panepa. Played in the three quarters, played in half-back, now at loose forward. Good work by the whole defence on Skerritt, bottling him up completely. Jeff Dolan and John Sharp already getting through a lot of tackling. Dermot, well read by John Sharp. Dermot running off from acting half-back as he's done already in the game. Oh, the ball goes loose, Edwards in trouble. Manages to manufacture not too bad a kick. Taken by Mark Hewitt. Crowd calling for a penalty for offside, and I think those Wigan players were in front of Edwardson.
Definitely in front. Never gave the man 10 yards. It's a rule not well policed enough. The whole defence looking after Kelvin Skerritt. You said had a bit of trouble with the disciplinary committee in the Featherstone game. He might have walked here for the full game rather than just the 10 minutes he got. A very bad foul early on in the game. The man down, I think it's Dermot, looking fairly bad. Checking his breathing, but the game goes on. Hasler brings his forwards. That's Doyle. Last tackle. We'll see the big up and under, I would think. Yes, it's been signalled. Little fumble. No, a little shorter kick, but well read by Boudicca defending. But then great defensive tackle by Hasler.
Yeah, worked out very well, that. Certainly hold plenty of spirit. I think it is Martin Dermot, I think, down on the floor on halfway and causing a lot of concern to the physio. Been in the wars this season, Martin Dermot. Spent a lot of time out injured. With an elbow injury, I think it's been, but quite sure what this is. John Sharp certainly hit high by Cowie there. Well, that's nonsense, referee. Edwards high on street. Referees have got to be consistent here. Good break by Dixon. All the way! What a good try! And just as he did at Oldham, scampering away from about 17, 18 metres away, caught the Wigan markers flat, beat the despairing cover tackle of Aitchison, and that pace Mike Dixon's got over 20 metres in evidence there. Good try. Hull on the board, 4-0, deservedly ahead, Sid.
Deservedly. Interesting to note that Dermot was out of position. That's the sort of area he cleans up for Wigan, but showed remarkable place there, Dixon, to get in. Skinned the full-back, Aitchison, who's been playing very well. The lad, Aitchison, didn't put a foot wrong in the game against Castleford in the Cup semi-final, but he left him for dead there, Dixon.
Well, part of Mike Dixon's problem at times is choosing when to go from acting half-back, and sometimes he's overdone it, but the more experience he's got, the more he's varied things and chooses the right time. He couldn't have chosen a better time than that. Martin Dermot still receiving attention on halfway. He's certainly up off the floor now, kneeling, but he's in some trouble. I make it, we've had 10 minutes of the match. It's been all Hull. They've got the elements certainly with them. But this wind is gusting around. No goal kick is easy in these conditions. So Mark Hewitt, second opportunity. Strikes it well. Hull lead by 6. But Hull have been working well through the forwards. Certainly Russ Walker, Tim Street, making plenty of yards into the Wigan defence, and Mike Dixon then coming in slightly later in the tackle count, and as the Wigan defence not quite set, getting in behind the markers and scoring. Farrell kicks off, taken by Gay. Oh, nice step by Gay. Taken by Kelvin Skerritt. Chico Jackson up the middle. Hewitt, nobody with him, has to take it up. Street. Almost up to halfway. Again, good work by the Hull forwards. Hewitt kicks over. The wind will take that ball away, and it makes touch. Excellent kick by Hewitt. Makes touch about 10 metres from the Wigan line. Now, I should think Hull will be very keen to use this wind with a kicking game. It's one thing they didn't do at Oldham when playing with the wind in the second half. Really, the kicking game was very poor. And they ended up losing the game, but fine kick by Mark Hewitt. Now can Hull pen Wigan in their own 20-metre line? Robinson, tackled by Grant. The markers penalised for not being square on. Certainly an area that referees have been not policing terribly well, I think, over the last month, and I think it's an area that does need tightening up. Cowie driving towards the halfway line. Skerrett. Missed by Doyle. Taken by Street. Of course, Tim Street and Kelvin Skerrett had a few contretemps in the cup tie. Farrell. One of Wigan's new generation of stars. Botica out to Mather. Ball goes loose into touch. Mather can't handle. Dermott seems to have recovered. First man to this scrum. Rob Nolan tackled by Cassidy. Chico Jackson. Well, Wigan are back about 4.5 metres there. The referee coming up to the ruck. Now he's got them back further. Walker. Very prominent Russ Walker in these early stages, having a fine game. Hewitt. Hasler. Takes them on. Out to Hewitt. Now to Doyle, but Doyle can't handle, can he? The ball goes forward. Picked up by Dixon, but that slipped forward. The referee will order the scrum. Playing surface actually quite firm, but greasy on top with the rain that we've had just before the match and that we're still getting now. Connolly. Botica drops off Aitchison, but straight into the hands of Des Hasler. Street. Street through Skerrett. Good run by Tim Street. Up to the 30-metre line. Sharp. Good tackle. Very good tackle by Aitchison, but he goes over the top. Having made the tackle, it was a fine first-time tackle that. John Sharp hit the ball very well. It was copybook low tackle, but Aitchison had a second go, conceded the penalty. So a chance for Mark Hewitt, 30 metres out, just to the right of the posts, to extend Hull's lead. This game taking something of the pattern of the cup tie, Sid.
Very much so. This is a big task for Hewitt. It's only his second game kicking goals, and we all know the last game was only settled by goal kicks. That marvellous touchline conversion by Botica from the second last try. He's missed a reasonably hard one, kicked an easy one. This will be somewhere in between the two for difficulty. If he gets this one, Hull are justifiably well on top. 8 points. It's a good start, Steve.
Well, the ball won't stay on the mound of sand. He may need some assistance here. Russ Walker is standing by, ready to assist. He's trying to block the wind, I think, Russ. Considerable Cumbrian frame. Hewitt strikes it. And strikes it well. Good goal, Mark Hewitt. Hull 8-0 ahead. And we've been playing almost 20 minutes. So a nicely struck penalty by Mark Hewitt. Wasn't put off by the ball falling over.
Well, I've never seen that before in rugby. A man kneeling near the ball to keep the wind off it, but it certainly worked. Well thought out, Russ Walker.
Richard Gay takes the ball from the kickoff. Well met by Robinson. Chico Jackson. Now Walker into the action again. Doyle. Grant. James Grant almost up to halfway. Walker again, handling for the second time in this set of 6. Good run, Russ Walker. Last tackle, Hull 40 metres out. Hewitt goes to the air. Hasler in pursuit, Aitchison under it. Good take, Aitchison. Cassidy from acting halfback. Tremendous improved player, Mick Cassidy. Really come on a ton this year. Very mobile, tough player. Tackles well, runs hard. Edwards. Wigan move it wide. Through Farrell. Good tackle by Des Hasler. Brings the big fella down. Edwards again looking to exploit the short side. Very good at that last minute switch at the ruck. From open to blind. Looking to get the numbers. Botica kicks through on the floor again. Taken by Mark Hewitt. Just inside the Hull half. He's tackled on the halfway line. Doyle. Hasler. Street can't handle. Well, I think it was the right ball. Tim Street, but disappointed with himself there. So it's really just about the first error Hull have made. Wigan with a chance to put a bit of pressure on here. They've got the scrum just inside the Hull half. Edwards. Botica. Wrapped up by John Sharp. Cowie. Tackled by Doyle and Hasler. Plays it on the 40-metre line. Dermott goes open side with Farrell at an angled run. Dermott drops off Edwards. Good tackle by Tim Street. Stood his ground at the marker position superbly. But here's Connolly on a run. Nice ball to Skerritt. Wigan up to the 20-metre line. It's the last tackle. Should think the ball will go in the air from Edwards, will it? No, he's going to look to exploit Hull. Connolly knocks on, I think. Did he get his kick in before the ball hit the floor? Richard Gay runs it out for Hull anyway. Makes good ground to the 20-metre line. Walker. Again, great run by Russ Walker. Not going down to the first tackle at all tonight. Chico Jackson. Dermott read that very well. It's going to be a penalty against Cassidy, though, who's going to be spoken to by the referee. So it may have been for the use of the elbow. Hewitt deposits the ball in touch, just short of halfway. And Mike Dixon will restart. Sterling to Street. Taken by Skerritt. Chico Jackson takes the flat ball, cut out pass from Mike Dixon. Hewitt. Hasler. I don't think that was a hard tackle, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. Street come and takes the flat pass. Hewitt. Grant. Grant throws the dummy. Had Gary Nolan outside him, just overrun him. It's the last tackle, Hull 30 metres away. Hewitt kicks through. Awkward one for Aitchison, gets his body behind it well, takes it well. Good take. Kick through. Fire in trouble. And a penalty against Hull for rolling a Fire over the line. I think he's probably right. Fire was tackled short of the line.
I don't know.
Well, I could have argued maybe it was a half voluntary tackle.
You see them, players pull players over the touchline when they're making a tackle like that. Why should the try line be any different?
Well, sometimes they're penalised for it if the player is still. Maybe a Fire surrender to the tackle. Cassidy going off for Wigan, I think. Looks to be holding a shoulder. Ball goes loose, picked up by Walker. Hull really buzzing at the moment. Wigan making errors. Hull on the attack again. Hasler. Gary Nolan. Well tackled by Dean Bell. Making his way back into the Wigan side. John Sharp. Almost up to the 20-metre line. Good quick play of the ball. Hewitt. Hasler. Throws the dummy, gets it away to Hewitt. Not a lot on here for the young scrum half. Sterling. Sterling still going. Out to Dixon, good ball by Sterling. Great work by the winger. It's the last tackle. Will Hull try to move it on the last? Doyle. The ball goes loose. Wigan have it. Good work by Hull. Varying their options nicely. Putting in the kick and then moving it there. The ball goes loose. It's taken by Mather. Played on his own line. Oh, certainly Richard Gay miles offside. I must have been 4 yards away from square marking there. You can't afford mistakes like that. It takes the pressure off Wigan.
Yes, first real mistake offside that Hull have made. The ball's come to the 25. I see Dean Bell's come on. Again, not a big forward. They seem a little underpowered, Wigan. With Panapa and Cassidy in the side, they don't have the usual size with missing Betts and Clark. So one assumes Dean Bell is going to play loose forward and Panapa in the second row. But good run by Cowie.
Referee thought about penalising Street there for the tackle on Cowie. Decided not to. Wigan crossing the halfway. Edwards switching play. Trying to find a runner. They're not quite running where he wants them at the moment. Farrell takes the ball on a crossfield run. Botica. Nice floated pass to Mather. Connolly's away on the outside. Kicks ahead. The ball will hold up in the wind. It's a tricky one. Richard Gay takes it over his own line. Restart on the 20-metre line. Hull could do with a quick one here. Hasler. Rob Nolan. Didn't make the most of that probably, Hull. Hasler might have gone on his own, but looking to pick up a runner. Russ Walker again. Hewitt gets to acting half. Hasler. Taken by Cowie and Panapa. Street. Shakes off Skerrett. Oh, Tim Street's in the mood tonight. 8 metres from halfway. Hewitt kicks over Robinson. Let the wind do it. Kicking Wigan back into the 20-metre area. Well, Hull certainly have the elements with them, but They've got a good lead at 8-0. And certainly Hull's forwards having the better of it.
Definitely, Steve. The Hull props outplaying the Wigan props. Maybe Timmy Street's a bit upset he didn't get a Great Britain call-up over the weekend.
I think he's enjoying the battle with Kelvin Skerritt, actually, as much as anything. Edwards. Makes 10 metres. Wigan move it. Farrell. Good tackle by Doyle. On top. John Sharp underneath. Bell. Bell, little step by Bell. Good work. He's going to play it 15 metres short of halfway. Edwards. Mather. Oh, Mather breaks the tackle of Gary Nolan. The ball comes out to a fire. Really quite a wild ball inside. He does keep it moving. It's with Connolly. Tackled by Gary Nolan. Edwards. I think he'll try and move it wide. Wigan seem to have the numbers. Nice ball. Skerritt standing very wide in the three-quarters. A great tackle by Paul Sterling. Was the last tackle. Hull have it on the turnover. Crowd getting a bit incensed by the... thinking the Wigan side offside. Tim Street. Sharp. Chico Jackson. Up to halfway. Hewitt. Hasler. Out to Grant. Grant slips his man up. Sterling drops it. Does he? No, he manages to hold on. Gay. Ball comes back to Jeff Doyle. Takes the ball standing still. Wigan stepped up their tackling, certainly on halfway. Hull the last tackle. Hewitt kicks over for Hasler. That's going to be picked up by Botica. It's still a tackle of Dixon, but let's make too much ground. Robinson. Tackled 40 metres from the Hull line. Mather. Taken by John Sharp. Assisted by Hasler. Now Edwards. Farrell. The ball goes loose. Connolly should take it. A full player flat on the ground. It's James Grant. Referee looked to his touch judge. No action. I didn't see what happened. Skerritt. Last tackle. Wigan 29 out from the Hull line. Edwards, what will he do this time? Moves the ball. Botica kicks for the corner. Behind Rob Nolan. That's a good kick. Nolan has to play it. Oh, Edwards must have been offside at the second marker position there. Richard Gay almost breaks out. Taken in the end by Panapa. Held down by Panapa. I think he could have got Edwards for not square marking before that.
Definitely, definitely. Hull were unlucky in the previous play. James Grant was taken out. It was not a foul, but he was taken out, body checked off the ball. I think he could have got possession. And if he could have picked up clean with his pace, he might have even gone all the way, Steve.
Hewitt makes touch. 25 metres from the Hull line. Chico Jackson. Out to Hewitt. Doesn't pick people up there, doesn't he? Walker. Ball out to Street. Tim Street shaking off tacklers. Causing problems for the Wigan defence. Tim Street and Russ Walker. Both Hull props having fine games. Sharp. Dixon, Gay. Richard Gay almost spinning out of the tackle. Hewitt. Street. Gets over halfway, Tim Street. Hewitt. Kicks over. I think again he'll let the wind do the job. Kicks Wigan back to the 10-metre line. That's the pattern. And Hull hoping for a Wigan mistake. They've brought... Cassidy seemed to have gone off for a blood bin change. I see they're now taking Bell back off. So Cassidy back on for Bell. Robinson. Well met by James Grant. Hull don't leave a marker. Dangerous. Robinson very dangerous from there. John Sharp caught on the wrong side of him. Referee thought about penalising Doyle, but told him to get back. Hanaper. Cassidy. Good tackle by Doyle again. Hanaper. Out to Farrell. Farrell bumps off a tackle. Last tackle, Wigan 42 out. Edwards. Cassidy. He has to kick. Kicks in on the full, turnover to Hull, 40-metre line. Hull could do with another score before half-time, sir.
Yes, Hull could do with another score, but equally important, they must keep Wigan out. We all know Wigan just scored in the very, very last minute of the first half. Hull, terrible mistake, turn the ball over. Referee's pulling play up. Saying Wigan knocked on. I think Hull might be a little fortunate there. I thought it might have been the other way.
Well, certainly Hull had possession. Wigan came up with it. Hewitt, Hasler, Gay. Richard Gay just stopping time. Almost the shepherd there, but probably just stayed the right side of his man. Had gone across him. Dixon going from acting half. Chico Jackson. Chico Jackson. Good run. Ball inside to Doyle. He's going all the way. What a good try. Oh, what a try by Jeff Doyle. But made by Chico Jackson, who certainly in the recent matches been a form player. And he has this ability to break the tackle. Got the pace to take it on. And then has this one-arm pass out of the tackle to pick his man up, and Jeff Doyle in support scores that vital try for Hull that takes them up to 12-0 with the kick to come, and we're about 4 or 5 minutes from half-time. Good try, Sid.
Very good try, very good time to score it. Wonderful play by Chico Jackson. He was brought down in the tackle, but the tackle wasn't completed. He got to his feet, made more yards, and found Doyle inside. We're not at a good angle. The pass looked flat, maybe a little forward. We're at a bad angle to see.
Well, certainly Hull, having with the wind behind them, needed a rather bigger lead than 8, and they've got it. Mark Hewitt to kick. This conversion about 10.5 metres in from touch. I think that's going to drift across the post. It does, but Hull have a 12-0 lead over Wigan. And we're closing on half-time. Very important they don't concede a try.
Definitely. As I've said before, they did it in the cup game. About 3-4 seconds left on the clock. That was the try that won it for Wigan, really, rather than what they did in the second half. But that was a great break by Chico Jackson. I mean, he showed the size he's got playing in the pack, but the pace he had when he played on the wing for Hull. He's played a lot of positions for Hull.
Yes, and he's certainly a player who can hit the defensive line, break it, and get the pass away. Has in the past been prone to quite a few errors as well, but a much improved player, Chico Jackson. Sterling. And Royce Simmons so far hasn't used either of his substitutes, Dive and McNamara. John Sharp. Ball goes loose. Was that tapped by a Wigan hand? Referee says no. Fire has possession. Mather tackled 30 metres away. Edwards. Panapa takes on the whole defence. Pretty solid, the whole defence tonight. Again, Edwards, Botica to Farrell, loses possession. Gary Nolan comes up with the ball. Good work, Gary Nolan. Put the pressure on the man. Hewitt. A lot of space in front of him. Gets into the Wigan half. Hasler. Street. Good run by Tim Street. Hasler. Des Hasler still going. Into the 20-metre line. Great roll by Hull. Doyle. Charging for the post. Will they go for the one to stretch the lead to 13? Hasler. Grant. Cuts inside James Grant. He's got to release the ball. It's the last tackle. He does so. I think Wigan have got it, have they? They have. That might have been better going for the one there to stretch the lead to 13. One tidy ball from Wigan. I think it may have been kicked through by a Hull player. Aitchison cleans up. We'll play it just short of the 10-metre line. Edwards. Farrell standing wide. Mather. Ball out to a fire. Loses it. Went backwards, says the referee. Then he knocked on. First one wasn't. Second one was.
Definitely called that right, Steve. First one all right. Second one definitely forward. This is a great chance for Hull.
Closing on half-time. Wigan in no hurry to get to the scrum. Kelvin Skerritt very slow in getting across. Bit of confrontation between Hewitt and Edwards. Edwards, no doubt, wily campaigner, trying to intimidate his younger opponent. Tim Street involved in some verbals with Kelvin Skerritt. That one predictable, I think. The referee seems to put Hewitt in the bin. And Edwards. Both scrum halves in the sin bin. Hull to feed the scrum. Well, they've got Des Hasler, who's done that a few times in his career. Edwards getting a sound booing as he goes off the field. Don't think that'll upset him. Nolan. Gay. Grant. Does well to hold the ball back. Rob Nolan. Got to stay inside. Good work, Rob Nolan. Sharp. Street. Big run by Tim Street. Still going, looking to turn and offload. 10 metres away. Can Hull finish the half with another try? Hasler. Drop off to Dixon. Dixon all the way. Can he make it? Great tackle. A try, is it? No, he's just short. Tremendous tackle. I think it was Aitchison came up with a tackle, but that really was a tremendous tackle. Mike Dixon looked all on a scorer. Ball goes loose. Referee says play on. Hull squander opportunity, perhaps. It was a nice drop-off move that brought Dixon onto the ball. And he looked to be all on a score, and a tackle came from nowhere.
I thought he was in, Steve. Great tackle if it was Aitchison. We can't be quite sure. But that's the sort of tackle that can win championships at the end of the day.
Yes, indeed. Hull have this 12-0 lead. We're just about on half-time. Skerritt hits it up for Wigan. Dermott. All the time probing around the ruck. Got a very good dummy, Martin Dermott. Nice distributor of the ball. Kicked along the floor. Richard Gay doesn't make sure. Ball goes loose. Went backwards to the referee. Hull a bit fortunate there. Paul Sterling picks up. Tim Street, oh dear. Unforced error by Tim Street. Had such a good game in this first half. Well, we're into injury time, certainly now. I'm a kick. Almost. That clock's completely wrong. So Wigan will have the put in here. Botica It's gone to scrum half with Edwards in the bin. Aitchison likes to hit and spin in the tackle, turns, tries to wriggle away. Cowie taken a bit high by Gary Nolan. Panapa, Botica, drops off Farrell, but he's tackled. Dermott's away, out to Robinson, Robinson in for the try, just on half time. Well, it's happened again, Sid. Wigan on the board just before half time. This is the danger they pose, of course, capable of scoring, and a good bit of work by Martin Dermott, who I think I've picked out as the most dangerous Wigan player in the first half, and Jason Robinson finished off in the corner, just what Hull didn't want.
Bad marker defence by Hull, but I'm not quite sure where all this injury time is coming from. There have been two fairly serious injuries, but the clock was never stopped. We seem to be in 4 to 5 minutes of injury time, and as I say, I'm not quite sure where it's come from. I wasn't sure whether I'd heard a muted hooter earlier, but obviously not. But this injury time is a little mystifying.
Oh, Jason Robinson certainly finished well in the corner. It was a nice try, well made by Martin Dermott.
I think the hooter had already blown and the referee hadn't heard it. I think we have a problem.
I think we won't get any hooter.
Well,
I thought he heard it, no? Cheer. Like a cup.
Well,
the try is obviously standing though, but obviously there's some confusion with the timekeeping and whether the hooter is working properly.
well, certainly echoes of that Challenge Cup tie. Wigan getting back into the game on the stroke of half time, really being comprehensively outplayed in this first half by Hull. Botica kicks. I don't think he's got much chance into the wind there. He hasn't. There is the hooter. Certainly sounded now. Well, carbon copy, really. Tremendous first half from Hull. Great performance. Two good tries. Almost another. Have we seen perhaps the crucial incidents? Mike Dixon's tackled less than a metre from the Wigan line. And then Wigan coming back to score just before the interval. 12-4 to Hull at the interval. We hope history isn't going to repeat itself here. But what a good first half it's been. We'll be back for the second half shortly. So the players making their way out for the second half. And certainly appears to have been a bit of controversy about the Wigan try. Not there was anything in the play that was suspicious, but certainly one or two of the Hull men on the bench claiming to the referee that thought the hooter had gone, and the referee not hearing it, and certainly we couldn't overhear if that was the case. I mean, we're speculating a bit here, but it was a nicely made try by Martin Dermott, and given Wigan that incentive at 12-4, Hull with only an 8-point lead, and they're going to be playing to win. The hooter's just been sounded again. It does sound to me as if that was maybe a problem there. So if it didn't go, well, that's desperate for Hull if that's the case. So 12-4, Hull lead. Wigan with the wind in the second half. Farrell gets us underway. John Sharp runs off him to Richard Gay. He's tackled about 8 metres away. Paul Sterling trying to make ground, gets to the 10-metre line. Mike Dixon, almost away. Mike Dixon wriggling away from the markers. Good yards made. The problem for Hull will be getting the kick in. Street up to the 30-metre line. Walker. Oh, Walker steps through his man, through Cassidy. It's the last tackle. Hull 40 metres from their own line. Back to Hasler to kick. I manages to get a bit of distance on that. Maybe the wind isn't as strong as it was. Back to a fire. Takes it inside his own 20-metre line. Knocked down well. Mather. Oh, good tackle again by the Hull markers. It's the Nolan brothers. Robinson. Dermot. Botica. Skerritt. The short ball inside the Hull half. Back to Farrell for the kick. Drills it along the ground. Richard Gay lets it go. Restart on the 20-metre line. Went the wrong side of the corner flag for Andrew Farrell. Richard Gay leaving the ball. Referee stopping the clock. I don't think there's very much to be gained by delaying in that way. Will be much better going into playing more positively. Tim Street. Chico Jackson thinks about the pass, dragged down by Cassidy and Cowie. Hasler, nice ball to Grant, and to Richard Gay, almost through the gap, but a great cover tackle by Dean Bell. Good bit of rugby league that. Penalty against Bell though for holding on too long. Oh, some good football there, Sid.
Very good football. Dean Bell's come on, I think it's for San Panaper, made a very good tackle, and then made sure Hull didn't get any more yards by holding the man down. Good decision by the referee. I think Dino knew what he was doing all the time there.
A nice long ball from Des Hasler and a short pass from Grant to Richard Gay, him into the gap. Hewitt finds touch and make more than about 2 or 3 yards with that. Mike Dixon has made a few more. Sterling. Street, loses it. Wish they wouldn't do that on the first. Wigan on the attack, Edwards. Robinson. That step, but taken by Hasler. Still inside the Wigan half. Farrell comes back. Farrell, but nicely taken. Dermot, Cowie. Cowie taken down then by Street and Hasler. Plenty of determination in the whole defence. Short side, Edwards. Connolly, nice break. Ball goes loose from Connolly though. Went forward and into touch. Lacked control that. The idea was right. Again, Edwards looking to exploit the short side, Sid.
Yes, did it very well. Connolly threw a very, very speculative ball. Robinson's not the tallest of wingers, and it was also forward. We've seen Tim Street have a wonderful game, making yards and great tackles, but he's mishandled the ball 2 or 3 times now. The rain stopped. He should be handling it now, Steve.
John Sharp. Chico Jackson takes the ball well. Hewitt, Hasler. Oh, Edwards, almost the intercept. Hasler gets it back. Oh, good run, Desi Hasler. Out to Gary Nolan. Well, villain turned hero, Des Hasler almost gave away an intercept to Edwards. Picked it back up and puts Hull back on the attack. Hewitt, Hasler, Grant. Grant, out to Sterling, not a very good ball, knocked on. There really wasn't a pass on in the end there. So Wigan have head and ball at this scrum. About 5 minutes of the second half, Hull lead 12-4. A long, long way to go. Robinson. Tackled by John Sharp. Tackled very well by John Sharp. Botica. Hull in possession, Doyle. It was Mather who knocked on. Now can Hull capitalise? Street. Big run by Street again. Into the Wigan 20-metre line. Hewitt, Hasler. Sharp on the drop-off. Well read, I think, by Skerrett. Dixon, Hewitt. Hewitt, nice step. Again takes play to within 17 metres of the Wigan line. Hasler takes them on, Des Hasler. Almost through. Gets it away. Doyle driving in 3 or 4 metres away. Last tackle. What will Hull manufacture? Hewitt. Hewitt kicks through. Connolly, can he clear his line? No, he can't. Good work by Mark Hewitt. Wigan have to drop out from under their own posts. Big kick by Farrell. Clears Richard Gay. Tremendous kick. Should have been further back, probably, Richard Gay. The ball's going to bounce dead, I think. Yes. Only just. Well, how's he come up with that decision? Well, how on earth did that come about?
The only decision he could have given, picked up the ball with his feet behind the dead ball line. Can be the only decision there, Steve. That ball looked clearly out to me. It might have only been 6 inches. We've got a good view of the line. Not very good, not very happy, the whole crowd here. It's a very big turnaround. 60 yards made on that kick in the end. Wigan inside the Hull 25 on the first tackle now.
Robinson goes to acting halfback. Certainly controversy there. Bell. Botica. Edwards. 3 metres away. Wigan's turn to attack. Dermott. Cassidy. Well dragged down by James Grant. Cowie for the post, driving on Neil Cowie. So the first tackle, the last tackle. Edwards, what will he manufacture on the last? Back to Farrell. Kicks through Andrew Farrell. Ball picked up by Hewitt. Hewitt runs it out for Hull. Well, it looked like a chance of a Wigan try there. They got over the line, couldn't ground it. John Sharp. So, excitement, adventure at both ends. Gary Nolan, good marker tackle by Dean Bell. Mike Dixon runs away from acting half. Tackle by Cassidy. Sterling. Met by Skerrett. The last tackle, Hull on the 30 metres line. Gay kicks through. Almost regathers. Was that a knock on by Aitchison? The crowd thinks so, the referee thinks not. Aitchison up to halfway. A fire. Nice ball to Robinson from a fire. Robinson still going. Gets away from Hasler. Taken by Street. Botica. Edwards on the runaround. Connolly. Gary Nolan holds on to him. Dermott. Trying to get away from the marker. Back to Connolly. Bit of room here. Bell. It's Mather who's tackled about 18 metres from the Hull line. Wigan beginning to put the screw on the Hull defence. Edwards. Botica. Edwards. Picks up Aitchison. Tackle by Grant, well spotted by the Aussie centre. Last tackle, Wigan 25 out. Dermott goes from acting half. Kicks over. Good take, Richard Gay. Looks to have been hurt in that. Paul Sterling. Gets away from one tackle, scampers a few valuable metres forward. Chico Jackson thinks about the pass, but it's a risky area. to even think about it. Sharp. Good run, John Sharp. Almost beats the tackle. Street. Good run, Tim Street. Oh, great run. That's really hard yards. Takes play almost up to halfway. Hewitt. Kicks. They're getting a bit more distance. Aitchison takes it. Important that he's taken down. He is 15 metres from his own line. John Sharp receiving attention. Robinson. Tackled by Grant and Walker. Bell. Out to Mather. Tackle short of the 20-metre line. John Sharp has taken his place again in the whole line. Edwards will kick in the air. Well, the ball bounces. Oh no, terrible problems. Sterling completely beaten by it. It's the last tackle. It bounced very awkwardly for him, to be fair. Wigan on the last tackle. Edwards looking to exploit the short side. Puts another kick in. Taken by Hasler. Rob Nolan. Tackle on the 20-metre line. Hewitt away from acting half. Hewitt, good run, Mark Hewitt. Oh, good work. Up to almost to halfway. Sharp. Crosses the halfway line. Doyle. Oh, good run by Doyle. All making the yards very well here. Hasler. Wigan certainly got the numbers in defence there. It's the last tackle. Hasler kicks through. Does it come off a fire or not? Don't think it touched him. And Hull making a double substitution. It's Walker and Sharp off, and McNamara and Dive on. So Royce Simmons has waited until the 14th minute of the second half to make substitution. John Sharp calling for the crowd to get behind Hull, certainly doing that. A fire. Taken by Sterling. Edwards. Bell. Straightens the line, comes up the middle. Edwards. Farrell. Tackled 8 metres short of halfway. Edwards takes them on himself. Crossfield run by Edwards. Good work. Danny Dive chasing across. Cowie. Still short of halfway. Just about to break it, Neil Cowie. It's the last tackle again. Again, good defence by Hull. Edwards with the high kick. Well, Rob Nolan in some trouble with it. And it goes into touch. Well, just the right side of the corner flag, according to the referee. I thought it'd gone the other side.
I think it just touched the corner flag there, Steve. Therefore, that's why the referee's given that decision. I think there has been I think they decided to change the substitution. I think originally it was going to be Chico Jackson coming off, but Johnny Sharp took a bit of a knock, and I think they've taken him off just to see if he can get over it and maybe come back for the last 10-15 minutes. But Hull are playing very, very well against the wind, better than they did in the cup tie. By this time in the cup tie, Wigan had already scored in the second half comeback. McNamara never really getting going there, took the ball standing still.
Yeah, I think the Wigan side were only about 5 metres back. The referee not totally consistent with a 10. Chico Jackson guides the ball away to Hewitt. Finds some space, Mark Hewitt. Oh, great work. What a tremendous run by Mark Hewitt. Coming of age as a First Division scrum half tonight. Street. Big run by Tim Street, well inside the Wigan half now. And the Hull against the wind, making tremendous ground. It's the last tackle. Hewitt goes for the air with the kick. Should be an easy one for Aitchison, this. It is. And he makes ground back towards the 30-metre line. Skerritt. Tackled short of the 40-metre line. Cowie. He's put down as well. All tackling has been tremendous. So they can keep it up. Edwards floated out to Botica. Botica taken by Hasler. Bell. Mother. Nice ball to a fire. Back inside to Connolly. Crowd think it was Ford. I don't think it was. It's the last tackle. Wigan 30 metres away. Botica steps. Goes for the kick. Richard Gay collects. And he's got a bit of space. And makes ground outside the 20-metre line. That's good work by the Hull fullback. Sterling. Sterling away from acting half. Good run again. That's another 10. It's where Hull have been good in the second half, making the yards. Dive. This time met by solid Wigan defence. Dixon. Hasler. Hasler looked to be perhaps slightly tripped there. I don't think there's anything malicious in it. Last tackle. Hewitt to kick. Oh, it's a nice kick. Certainly the wind in the second half, although it seems quite strong up here, Wigan found it difficult to make any yards in the wind against the wind in the first half, but Hull have managed to do it. That's 2 or 3 nice kicks that have made good distance.
2 very good kicks. In fact, one occasion he's outkicked the chase. Edwards' first couple of kicks were blown back at him. Then he kicked along the ground. The wind must have dropped and the rain stopped. We've played almost half of this second half, and Hull have kept Wigan out and are looking possibly a good bet to put a dent in the title hopes of the current favourites for that championship.
Yeah, very early I'd say things like that. Cowie. Oh, it's good shoulder there. It's that Jeff Doyle shoulder. Edwards takes them on. Back to Connolly. Ball out to Mather and knocked down by Rob Nolan. It'll be a scrum just inside the Hull half. And Wigan trying to release or fire on that far side. Mather's 1 or 2 nice balls out to him. So Wigan head and ball just inside the Hull half. They get it. Botica a fire off his wing. Oh, not a good ball to Connolly. Picked up by Richard Gay. Richard Gay in the clear. Still going, Richard Gay. But great cover tackle by Jason Robinson. Across to make it. Dive. Gary Nolan. Just 2 or 3 metres out. Hull need a score. Dive from acting halfback. Don't think he'll score from there. Wigan very good at covering. Held up on his back over the line. Well, that's another chance. Richard Gay got into the clear, did great work, but tremendous cover defence by Jason Robinson.
And I thought Sterling was held back when he could have gone to support Gay there. If he hadn't been here, I think Sterling could have been under the post and we could have had a very, very good lead for Hull. A good change in the rules here. I mean, I've always thought that in this case, the attacking side held over the line should have the ball.
Des Hasler taking on the Wigan defence. He stopped about 9 metres short in front of the posts. A knock on given against Hasler, lost the ball. Hull haven't quite clinched it. They've seen some great approach work in this second half, but unable as yet to cross the line. And Cowie coming off for Joe Lydon. And Mather will go into the pack. Edwards, nice ball to Aitchison. Lydon, straight into the game. Skerritt. Oh, good tackle. Chico Jackson. Big tackle by Jackson, but Dermott's away, a fire. Oh, good cover by Hull again. It's good work. Now Skerritt. Not getting a lot of change out of this Hull defence. It's the last tackle. We're going to 35 out. Edwards takes on the defence. Nice ball to Bell. A speculative pass back, but Wigan keep it going. Skerritt knocks on though. Turnover. Hull have possession. And it's Jeff Doyle, I think. Looked like a swinging arm there. Nolan up to halfway. Hull again making the yards well. Street. Back to Hewitt. Touch judge coming on the far side, seeing something. Not sure what. But Hull have made the yards tremendously well in the second half. So they'd taken the ball away. You might have thought the Wigan tactics would certainly be to hold Hull in their own 20-metre zone. But Hull have taken it away so well, both through the forwards. Good runs from acting half-back, and Mark Hewitt with one or two particularly telling 30-metre determined runs.
Hewitt's had a wonderful second half. He's run very well. Unfortunately, possibly the support hasn't quite got with him. There's obviously been a little bit of grievance between Timmy and I think it was Barry John Mather. The penalty's gone to Hull. Sounds like, looks like it was pulling a player back. Can he find touch with into this wind? Not a very good one.
Well, he can, but not too many yards made forward. But Hull 35 out from the Wigan line. Steve McNamara hits it up. Danny Dive. The big game for the French against Great Britain on Sunday. Nice ball to Gay. Long ball from Hasler. Hewitt. Street. 8 metres away. Dixon again from acting half. He's made it, has he? No, a knock on, says the referee. And the scrum to go down 10 metres away. Referee was in a very good position to see that, much better than we are, but looks as if he got to the line just about and knocked on. So Hull unable to get this decisive, what could be the decisive try. Bell. Oh, great shoulder by Jeff Doyle. Tremendous tackle. Farrell. Tackled in, still inside his 20-metre line. Heroic defence by Hull. Skerritt. Oh, brilliantly met by Chico Jackson. And the crowd really getting behind Hull as Edwards kicks Wigan out of danger and makes touch inside the Hull half, but only 10 metres then inside. Wigan didn't make too much forward progress on that set.
Not much at all. That's the third big hit Chico Jackson's had on Kelvin Skerritt, marking him out of the game just about. The top prop in England, so we're led to believe. Had Hull scored there, it was so close to the post, you'd have expected them to have kicked the goal. I think that would have been the decisive try. They've got to keep on to this lead. Try and get on some more points, any sort of points. Kicks are obviously difficult into this wind. It's most likely to come for a try, but just keep the defence like they're doing, keep it very tight. They can win this game.
Danny Dive driving the ball up to halfway. Richard Gay, tackled by Mather. Chico Jackson. Into the Wigan half. Steve McNamara. He'll drive on, make more yards. It's the last tackle. Hull are about 35 out from the Wigan line. Doyle. Dive kicks. I think that's too strong. Miles too strong. Well, he threw the dummy and thought about carrying on the run, but then had a change of mind. And the Hull, certainly no hurry to go and get the ball back. Wigan kicked it back too strong. 25. How long to go? 27, 24. About 13 minutes to go. Into the last quarter of an hour of the game. Hull still lead 12-4. Mather. Hull's defence in the second half have been absolutely tremendous. They've got another 13 minutes, I reckon, to keep it going. Edwards. Ball out to Botica. Oh, he slips the defence. Nice stepping run by Botica. Penalty against McNamara for a high tackle. Terribly malicious, but he did catch Botica around the head. And Lydon looks to make touch on the far side. That's an indication of where the wind is, because it was only about 15 metres from this touchline. Skerrett. That stepping run. Wigan in the danger zone, 12 metres away. Farrell. Good defence by Hull. Got to keep them out. Bell. Driven back, Dean Bell, to 8 metres away. Edwards. Aitchison. Well met by Sterling and Grant. Terrific stuff. Edwards again. Cross field. Bell on the drop-off. Bell still going out to Aitchison. Good tackling again by Grant and Doyle. Grant and Sterling. It's the last tackle. Wigan are about 7 metres out. Edwards. Oh, there must be a chance here. Must be in at the corner. They are with Lydon. No forward pass. And they really bombed it, because they had a 3-1 on that far side. And the referee gives the passes forward. It may well have been. Edwards got stuck in midfield there for a while. He was looking really to ship it out quickly, but Hull got out up amongst the Wigan line. And they managed to stifle it enough for the final pass to be forward. Touch judges come on to say something to the referee. It's turnover, because it was on the last tackle. He'd given a scrum. Mike Dixon runs it away. Good meters made by Mike Dixon. Dive. Good running from acting halfback. Eating up the yards. Skerrett miles offside. Referee points to him and tells him to come back. To be fair, he did that to a couple of Hull players in the first half. Street almost loses it, but manages to hold on. Hasler. Hasler. Up to halfway. It's the last tackle. Hewitt will take the ball on the short side. I'm sure he'll put it low to the corner. Kicks over Aitchison. That's not a bad kick. He's going to have to play it. What's the Hull chase like? Mark Hewitt leads the chase and makes the tackle. Good work by the young scrum half. A fire. Crossfield a fire. Sterling misses him, but he's put down by McNamara. Robinson. Crossfield. Up to the 20-metre line. Edwards. Switches the ball back inside to Cassidy. Taken by Gary Nolan. Good tackle. Edwards. Crossfield. Probing. Mather into the clear. No, great tackle by Mike Dixon. Edwards. Orchestrating this Wigan attack. Farrell gets the ball away to Connolly, but he's wrapped up by Steve McNamara. Last tackle, Wigan just inside the whole half. Edwards goes to the blind with Robinson. Chips over. Mark Hewitt's ball. Still going Mark Hewitt. Up to the 40-metre line. Well, this whole defence has been heroic in the second half.
Brilliant defence. And the forward charges being led by the two props. And slightly surprising, young Hewitt having a wonderful game, gaining many yards. Bringing the winger in there, Nolan brother. I see Hull are getting the two players that have been substituted ready to come back on. Spell the forwards. This is the Australian way of doing it. Dore usually does it. Great bake here. Richard Gay's in the clear. Richard Gay's
going all the way. Richard Gay, what a try by Hull. Oh, what a match winner. Well, we hope that's the match winner. Tremendous try by Richard Gay. Some great work by Danny Deve, Mike Dixon. And Richard Gay had the pace, beat the last despairing tackle and outpaced the cover. Great try.
Absolutely wonderful try. I think it was off a little scampering run by young Mike Dixon again. He used to do this a lot more, this run from acting half-back. He's doing it less, but it's much greater effect doing it less now. He's nearly scored a hat-trick off it. Great try. I make it about 8 minutes left on the clock. The goal kick's close enough to be kicked even into this wind. Hull are not hurrying with this goal kick at all.
I've seen Mark Hewitt do this before. Very good at slowing things down. And great reception for Chico Jackson and Tim Street. How well they deserve it as they leave the field. John Sharp and Russ Walker back on. Well, that was a try fit to win a game, wasn't it? Tremendous exchange, interplay, support play by the Hull players. And Richard Gay, the right man on the end of it with the pace to finish it off. But Danny Deve, Mike Dixon, great work by both of them. And it does make you wonder why Hull don't play like this every week. Some disappointing performances, especially away from home in recent weeks. They've borne no resemblance at all to the way they've played tonight. Ball on the floor, 16-4. And about 9 minutes to go. Vital kick this, put Hull more than 12 points ahead. It's there. Mark Hewitt's third successful kick. Hull lead by 18 points to 4. So, Wigan to kick off. Well, what a great performance this has been by Hull tonight. They'll be delighted with it. Roy Simmons has announced that he's going to leave the club at the end of the season, not because he really wants to, but because of business reasons in Australia. Players have responded tremendously. Danny Deve making the break. Oh, he tries a risky ball, doesn't come off. Wigan come up with possession. Couldn't quite pick Mike Dixon up. Mike Dixon is down. The Wigan player also down. Skerritt, tackled by Walker. Edwards, Botica brings Connolly, the angled run back to Botica, taken by Hasler and Johnny Sharp. Edwards, knock on by Wigan at the acting halfback. Well, the biggest cheer away from the Boulevard tonight will certainly be at Odsal Stadium for this result. This Bradford certainly slipped up at home to Lee a week last Sunday. Came back on the championship track with a win at Salford on Friday, but this result tonight will do them a lot of good. And of course, they've got to play Wigan twice in the last few weeks of the season. But the biggest cheer tonight will certainly be at the Boulevard. If this lead stands, 18-4. Gay taking the ball at standoff. Sharp. Tackled by Lydon. What a pity there wasn't a bigger crowd here to see it. Steve McNamara breaks into the Wigan half. Dixon. Certainly would be in the running for the man of the match. Been a great team effort by Hull. Great work by the forwards, I think, Russ Walker and Tim Street. Dixon. Ball comes loose, picked up. Well, the referee gives a forward pass. Well, not too sure it was that forward. Gives the scrum. Given that the first Hull player knocked it forward, taken by the second one running through. Jeff Doyle, I think, has won the man of the match. That's a pretty good choice. His work in defence has been tremendous. And he picked up a very good try backing up Chico Jackson in the first half. But the whole side has played with terrific enthusiasm tonight, a lot of skill, and played a lot more football than they've played in recent matches. Inventive in attack and absolutely resolute in defence. Wigan being forced into errors by the intensity of the Hull tackling. Skerrett, he must be getting sick of running into these brick walls that's forming in front of him. Edwards releases the ball to Connolly, picked up by Grant, gives it to Hewitt, tackled by Cassidy. Mike Dixon, I certainly thinks a bit in the wars, but Danny Deve picks up from acting halfback and scrambles a few yards. Sterling, very nice to finish off with another try. Bring the house down, I think. Sharp. Hewitt. On the 20-metre line, Mark Hewitt. No hurry to get to his feet. Hasler. 2. Knock on by Gary Nolan. Almost was in the clear there. A little neat drop off by Hasler. Almost got him away. But Wigan have head and ball at the scrum. I make it, we've got 3 or 4 minutes left. Botica, Connolly, wrapped up. Well, there's a swarming Hull defence. Robinson. Oh, that's terrific stuff. Dermott, who to me has been the most dangerous of Wigan's attacking players tonight, although Edwards has certainly created problems as well. But Hull have defended so well as here. Scrambled across when danger looks to have been created. And hammered the Wigan man to the floor. Panapa goes from acting half. Gets to the halfway line, but it's the last tackle again. And Wigan, I think they would have certainly hoped in this second half to have played most of the game inside the Hull half. They've been unable to do that. And that's testimony to the brilliance of the Hull defence and Hull's ability to take the ball away from their 20-metre area when they've had possession there. Gary Nolan stepping. Deve probing around the ruck area. Dixon, McNamara. Steve McNamara had a lot of injury problems this season, but this victory will be very sweet to him. Hasler takes them on, Des Hasler. Nice ball back to Hewitt. Sharp. John Sharp, just short of the 20-metre line. It's the last tackle. Comes back to Hewitt. Tries the drop goal. I think that's probably a bit ambitious in the wind. Did it come off a Wigan hand? Doesn't really matter. Aitchison has it and makes a 20-metre line. I reckon we're just about in injury time. There might be a bit in the second half. And Hull on the verge of a famous victory. In the context of the league this season, I suppose this victory doesn't mean as much as a Challenge Cup tie victory would have done, but it's sweet nevertheless, and a welcome return to form by Hull, who've played extraordinarily well tonight. Botica. But again, wrapped up, last tackle, 40 metres from his own line. Edwards kicks over the top, will find touch, 30 metres from the Hull line, but unable to take it any further than that. And chorus of Old Faithful finding its way around. There's going to be a tremendous cheer at the end of this game. The final hooter goes. And the chorus of Old Faithful is well and truly going now. And so it should. Paul Sterling runs the ball away. And Wigan have had to give second best tonight to a Hull side that have been tremendous in both attack and defence. Particularly the defence in the second half, I think, has won it. Wigan might have expected with that 12-4 deficit at the interval and the wind behind them really to pen Hull back and wait for the errors, but Hull have defended so well. Wigan have had to kick from deep inside their own half. They've not been able to make the yards to put in really attacking kicks. Hasler. Gary Nolan. It's the last tackle, 40 metres away. Hewitt kicks past a fire and will make touch about 10 metres away from the Wigan line. And there it is, there's the hooter to signify a famous victory for Hull. 18 points to 4. What a great performance we've seen. Sweet revenge for the Challenge Cup tie defeat. A performance of tremendous character tonight. And the side deservedly taking the plaudits from the crowd here, who've really come alive in the second half, as they saw that the longer it went on, the more Hull knocked the stuffing out of the Wigan defence, the Wigan attack, the more likely it was that they were going to win. It's been a wonderful performance by Hull tonight. Whether it's going to be enough to get them back into the top 8, I don't know, but it's shown what the side can do. They've beaten the champions and the cup holders here by 18 points to 4, and it's been a great evening here at the Boulevard. So from Steve Ollison and Sid Ludlow, we're getting our breath back. Hope you join us for the next one. From both of us, good night.
John, first comments on the match, obvious disappointment.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't a match to be savoured, that's for sure. Probably too many mistakes.
And revenge from Hull FC's point of view will never be sweeter, of course.
No, definitely. I'm sure Royce is cock-a-hoop about the result after us winning here recently. But I feel we just made far too many mistakes to play a part in it.
I got the impression that you always considered coming up to the Boulevard one of the major battles of the season.
I did, because the Boulevard is a bit of a graveyard for any side, and you know, knowing what it was like when I was at Hull KR, it's always a very tough game. But tonight, you know, there was again another strong wind, and we just didn't get the result.
Disappointment, but do you see it as a major obstacle in your quest for a 5th consecutive championship?
Well, it certainly makes the hurdle that little bit higher, and it's up to us. You know, destiny's in our own hands. We certainly have to win games to achieve a result, and hopefully we can start by beating Sheffield.
And still, everybody sees Wigan as the team to beat.
Well, I can see why. You know, Wigan certainly have been the side of recent years, and the results so far this year say that, you know, we're well in the hunt. But we have to do the business on the park. Until we do so, we'll have to tough it.
You mentioned Sheffield there briefly. Defeat tonight won't make that any easier, will it?
No, not with the way they've been performing of late. And, you know, that they certainly must be waiting in anticipation for us to arrive, and hopefully we'll be able to put it to them.
How do you see the match going, the battle of the forwards?
Well, at this stage, I wouldn't like to say. I have to look at tonight's performance and then have a look at what Sheffield have been like and go from there.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Fantastic win, Richard.
Yes, very, very good win. The lads, we'd been training well all week for this. We knew this was like our Wembley, really. Wigan just narrowly defeated us a month ago, and this time we turned the tables on them, and was quite happy to do that.
So when they scored the try just before half time, what did Roy say?
Well, it was just like the quarter final. We was all sort of our heads down, but Simo got us in the changing rooms, and you know, he boosted us up again. We come out. We knew it was going to be hard in the second half. Wigan had a strong wind behind the backs, but we knew if we could just control the ball and play like we did in the first half, we'd come away with the points, which we which we did.
On Sunday you go to Wakefield. Now we've been struggling against the load of sides lately. What do you put that down to?
Do you know, I don't really know. We can't put our finger on it, but you know, certain players have been playing away from home, and other players haven't. You know, like today we had 13 players out there, and everyone give their all, and everybody was playing to the best of their ability. I think that's basically what the problem's been. Really, we've only had a certain number of players wanting to play away from home, but hopefully we've got 8 games left now, and hopefully if we can win them 8 games, you know, we'll look towards a premiership.
So what is Hull's ambition for the rest of the season?
For the rest of the season is to win all our last remaining 8 games and send Royce Simmons on his way home with a smile on his face. You don't get many of them from Simo, so it'd be nice to send him away with 8 wins.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.